it's been a while since I've been on this project. And, you know, we've got a coffee shop and we've got a family and we've got lots of stuff. So Dad's projects are always dead last. Maybe some of you can understand what I'm talking about. So, and again, if you've seen some of my other videos on this, like you can't even tell right now because the seat's off, the tank's off. But it's kind of a retro scrambler look I'm going for. And I've decided I'm going to cut this off. This looks stupid. And I'm going to make something that fits better around this pipe. So it has taken me a lot longer than if I was 17 and didn't have any other obligations. I could work on this all the time. But if I was 17, I'd probably still have the same equipment I have. I have a Harbor Freight Chicago Electric flex wire welder, and it has served me extremely well over 10 years. Talk all the shit you want. The welds aren't the best, but you're melting metal together. If it does that, it's doing its job. So, other than a lot of sanding and grinding, you know, I treat it like it's like trim. Like if I'm a carpenter. Like, yeah, I might not be a carpenter, but when I put some caulk in there and some silicone, I can make it look like I was, you know what I was doing. And plus, this, you can have a couple drinks, come down, work on your stuff for a little bit, try to figure out what you want to do, something different. But look at this. So, this is my TBr7. I have actually taken, since we own a coffee shop, I took an old espresso machine that we had. We had a tray in there, stainless steel, that I took, and it actually fabricated. You know, I had to cut it. You know, I mean, just cut the shit apart. Like, it's Harbor Freight tools and your time. That's all it is. Like, you can down me all you want, all you experts out there. I don't know why you'd be working on a $1,400 bike if you're an expert welder, fabricator, and all this. Tell me all the stuff I did wrong. But I just like making stuff that I think looks cool. And it doesn't matter if anybody else does. Which, in the end, most people actually do think it looks cool. So, let's see. Where's that battery at? I changed the seat. Like, it did have this seat that has the kind of, like, I don't know. I didn't really like the camo in it. And because my grips have that kind of diamond pattern, I got another one. And that's the nice thing about these Chinese stuff. It's cheap. It's cheap, and it's cheap for a reason. It's cheaply made. It's cheap everything. But you know what? I don't plan on being buried with this project. So it doesn't matter. I want to have some good years out of it. And, you know, if I decide to change something up, then it's also cheap. I'm not putting expensive parts on a bike that's like meant to be the cheapest dual sport that you could buy on the internet. It's my awesome, super expensive, I don't know what I paid for it, fucking 15 years ago, Harbor Freight 10-inch grinder, so you can cut some of this metal up. So what I did here, it looks like hell right now, and it's okay. Believe me, I'll clean it all up and it'll paint, and it'll look nice, you know, from 2 feet, like I expect everybody to stay away from a bike. But this doubles as a grab handle because bikes are heavy. No matter if you have a light bike, a heavy bike, they are still heavy. So this you can kind of lift up and grab on. But what I'm going to do with this is, you see this? Guess where this came from? Harbor Freight. And it's actually pretty stout built. So let me show you something here real quick. This, I have a couple ammo cans just for random, you know, ammo. And this has got a pretty nice seal in it. And it's actually pretty heavy duty build. It is not like sheet metal thin. This thing actually is pretty stout. And I can't remember what I paid, maybe 13 bucks. But I was planning on clips down there. I'm planning on putting this. See where these handles are? I'm drilling some holes. And I'm going to mount them right there. so that, you know, I could put my phone or some, you know, wobble sodas, wobble pops, or whatever, you know, Vice Grip Garage calls them. I love that guy. If you're at a park, you're sitting around or something, not that I promote drinking and driving, but, you know, if you're chilling out for a bit and you want to have one, that's great. It can be in this, it can be sealed, and it's really good storage, and it really keeps the weather out. So I use this 1-inch here, and then I'm going to weld, well, there it is. Okay, so this is 1.5 inches. So you can basically slip inch tube in, or this is 1.25 inches, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right over the top, drill some holes in here that go through the bottom with some Loctite lock nuts, or what do you call them? Teflon lock nuts, so that it puts these on there. And then on this, I'm actually going to weld. I'm going to weld this right to here. And then I'm also going to put a brace right down the center, just so it stays extra sturdy. And so I can take those on and off. And when they're off, hell, they're a grab rail. And when they're on, you got some extra storage. Your phone, whatever. Even if you want to run some wiring into it and like have a charge system, because these do have an extremely good seal on them. Like I can feel it when I pack it down. That seal is watertight. I'm welding on the outside, so I'm not actually protruding into any part of this. So it's just an idea for some of you. I'm going to paint match this to the rest of the build, which I haven't figured out yet. But if you've seen any of my other videos, you know my tank right now is silver. And I also did this. So check this out. Some old diamond plate I had sitting around from another project, actually at the coffee shop. And so I said, screw it. I'm going to make it oval because there's nothing to go in that gap right there. And it just annoys the piss out of me. So I'm going to make it oval out of this, turn around, polish it, and make kind of an old school number plate. And then I'm also going to put a graphic on it so it ties into everything, but it kind of hides some of that spot. That's just, to me, I like the look of a shock, but it's too much of an open spot. So I'll look at this, and when it's all done, if I don't like it, I'll fucking change everything. But that's the nice thing about doing this stuff yourself. $100 Harbor Freight welder, parts you can get. Some of this stuff I got from actually the frame of the bike when I bought it. I used for, you know, weld some brackets. These are Harbor Freight, and again, I don't care what you're using them for. These are pretty stout. So, again, I don't think I grabbed that battery, but the battery literally fits right here perfectly. So I'm going to weld a tab for the strap here and a tab for the strap here, lay it sideways, put the rest of the electronics here, and then whatever else I need back here. And I'll try to seal it up a little bit more, but I don't plan on running in the rain and shit that much. Like I'm a fair weather rider. I'm going to go out when it's just fun to have a ride. It's not my daily transportation. So, stainless steel fenders. These grab rails are just mild steel. And this guy that I bought it from just had a bunch of scraps left over from his shop, and he just basically sold me all the stuff I need for like $5. So, go to your local metal fabricator, and they will always have scraps and stuff sitting around that they'll sell for next to nothing because they're not really worth a whole lot to them. So that's it for now. Thanks.